What's good, party people? One Take Wonder Man here. Not necessarily for a cryptocurrency update today, but I am here. And I'm ready to talk. I may actually rant a little bit because this is about to get serious for at least the first couple minutes here. I seen this morning, first thing this morning when I went to work on the news, it was talking about the explosions in Manchester in England, or the UK, or I'm not exactly sure all the specifics on what you would call it. But anyway, overseas at an Ariana Grande concert, at the end of the concert, suicide bomber walked in and I guess just blew himself up and took a bunch of people with him. When I first seen this on the news, I looked up and I said, another one, and started to go on about my day, because we have been conditioned for so long and desensitized to things like this happening that when we see it on the news, we say, another bombing, another terrorist attack, another this, another that. It's gotten to the point now to where we've become so desensitized to it that it doesn't even affect us on an emotional level. Nothing like it should. I was there for 9/11. Well, I wasn't in New York, but I mean, I was alive for 9/11. I was in English class when that happened. It came on the news, and I was young enough to where it didn't really impact me until afterward when I seen what happened from that situation. And there's been several since then that have impacted me on a greater level. But when I seen that this morning, it didn't even mess with me. And that bugged me. So I told myself, you know what? Why, after I analyzed everything, so after I walked away from the TV, I thought, why did that not impact me? Why did that not affect me like it should have affected me? And so I said, you know what? I'm going to make sure it does. I'm going to make sure I know about it, and I'm going to make myself take it in for how I should take it. I'm gonna let myself be touched and moved by this attack the way that a normal human being should be touched and moved or hurt, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let myself be that. So I started looking up some articles on it, some videos, trying to get more details on the entire thing, because the news, they kind of smash stuff down sometimes and try to kind of focus on other stuff. But so I started, reading up on it, and found out that it was an Ariana Grande concert, that there were 22 people dead, 59 injured, some of which were children, which is crazy because I have a son that is almost a year old. And so it hits me on a little bit more of a personal level, because then I started thinking, what if that was my kid at that concert? I watch these videos and see these kids just running and screaming, and I'm like, this is insane that this is happening, and we just brush it off, because I know I'm not the only one, or I mean, I would assume that I'm not the only one that has come to this point where you hear about an attack and you kind of brush it off. You're kind of like, oh, another one. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's gotten to that point, because there's been so many. But it doesn't mean that it should affect us any less when that happens. You know what I'm saying? That's like, it's like if a family member dies, that affects us in a negative way. But just because we've had 3 deaths in the family, the 4th one should mean just as much. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't make it less impactful, or whatever the word is, traumatizing or whatever. But when I watched some of the videos, and I just thought about, man, that could be my son, in some years, that could be him. That was crazy. We got a plane out here doing tricks in the sky. So yeah, it really, after I got into looking up the details and stuff, it really started to kind of get to me a little bit more, and I started thinking, man, like, that's a concert. Yeah, there's going to be teenagers there and there's going to be adults there, but you know there's going to be kids there too. Just like a Justin Bieber concert, or, you know what I'm saying, or Miley Cyrus back in the day, or whatever. Like, there's going to be young kids there, teenagers there, or preteens sometimes, you know, and it's just like, I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, being the whole terrorist idea is cowardly anyway, most of the time. I would consider it cowardly moves, but to go into a place like that that's mainly children, or maybe not children, but younger people, like, that's such a cowardly move. Like, that's just, and it makes me mad to think that there's so many terrorists out there that are so cruel and just sadistic, like, but yet they target the weak often. Or you see a lot of these terrorist attacks happen in, like, gun-free zones. It's like they're cowards. That's why they attack the weaker, you know, or the places they know they can go and not get shot. I just I don't know. It bugs me. And I heard Trump, he was like, I'm not even going to refer to them as monsters because they would like that. I'm going to refer to them as losers. Well, yeah, they are, but they're cowards. Call it like you see it, bro. They're cowards. And I don't even know the entire situation, but I just think going into a place like that and killing some kids, that's just stupid. You're a coward. And waiting by the exit, like where you knew people were going to come out, like where you could get the most people, like, that's just why. What is the point in that? Seriously. Like, what is your, I don't understand it. I really don't. And I get so mad. Man, I get mad, and I know I'm not even showing anger right now because I'm just trying to take everything in, but yeah, I'm going to end this video now, and I may come back for a cryptocurrency update here shortly. Just keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers that were involved or related to the situation over there. It's rough, man. It sucks when stuff like that happens. It really does. It really does. Yeah. Just keep them in your thoughts and prayers. I think that's all I got for now. Deuces. Oh, tune in long enough, something might happen. Deuces.